I've been coaching for 16 years, and here's what I know. Most blokes are leaving muscle on the table. They're obsessing over the wrong shit, volume, frequency, supplements, the perfect split, while the one thing that would actually drive their results forward, they're completely ignoring. And I'm saying this because I was that bloke for years too. See, when you first start training, everything and anything will work. You don't really need to understand why. You just show up, you lift something, you get stronger, and you make progress. You have those newbie gains. 1 week you're doing ring dips with a band, the next couple of weeks later you've taken the band off, a couple of weeks later you're adding weight to the belt whilst you're doing dips. The jumps are so big that you never really stop to think about what's actually happening. But what's happening is really simple. You're making progress. Every time you walk into the gym, you gave your body a reason to grow, to change, to adapt. And then all of a sudden, it stops. It comes grinding to a halt. The easy gains dry up and suddenly you're not getting stronger or you're not building as much muscle. You're showing up and doing the work, but nothing is changing. That's the plateau. And this is where a lot of blokes kind of like fall off the rails. They start looking for answers. They get obsessed with YouTube videos, scrolling TikTok and podcasts. They start program hopping, looking for the next secret exercise, the next best split that's going to change everything for them. They buy a load of different supplements. They consume more content in a month than they consumed in the whole previous year because they're desperate for the thing to start working again. And they're skipping right over the one thing that would actually fix it. Progression is the key to growth. You need to give your body a reason to adapt every single time you train. But the mistake most people make is that they think progression means big jumps. If they can add 10 kilos to the bar, they're going to. And they assume bigger jumps mean faster results. But here's the problem. Big jumps feel great in the moment, but they always come with a cost. Your technique breaks down, recovery gets harder, you start picking up little injuries, your form isn't as good, and eventually you start to stall completely. See, the blokes who've been doing this the longest realize that the goal isn't necessarily the biggest jump possible. The goal is the smallest jump possible while still moving forward and progressing. Think of it like compound interest. Nobody gets excited about putting 50 quid in a savings account or into the stock exchange, right? You want the big win, the lump sum, the thing that changes everything overnight. But that's not how any of this works. The blokes that put away a small amount every month for 10 years end up with more than the bloke who kept waiting for the big score and waiting for his perfect opportunity. Training is the same. Adding a couple of kilos to the bar doesn't feel like much. One extra rep doesn't feel like much. 1 extra second of control on the way down where you're able to pause the weight for a second doesn't feel like much. It's almost invisible, but those small improvements stack on top of each other month after month and year after year. So here's how I do it. Let's say for the movement, I'm trying to do a rep range of 6 to 10 reps. My goal for every session is simple. Can I add 1 rep in one of the sets? Or at the very minimum, match what I did last week, but maybe with better control and smoother execution. So let's say I get 6 ring dips this week. Next session, I'm aiming for 7, if I can. And here's the bit most people fuck up. Even if I feel like I could grind out 8 or 9 that day, I might stop at 7 anyway, because that's still progress. I don't need to empty the tank every time I train. I just need to do 1 rep better than last week. Next week, I go for 8, then 9, then 10. Eventually, I'll get to 10. And then I'll add a little bit of weight, and I'll go back down to 6. But I don't add a huge amount of weight. I add a small amount of resistance, just enough to be able to stimulate change, right? So I'm making progress. I'm stepping forward. The weight goes up slightly, the reps drop back down, and I build back up 1 rep at a time. That's the whole system. Small improvements stacked on top of each other for a very long time. It's not sexy. It's not going to blow up on TikTok, but it's the thing that actually works. I've got a garage with sandbags, a barbell, rings, and a pull-up bar, and I'm stronger now than when I was spending 90 minutes in a commercial gym fucking around with 7 different exercises every training session. See, most people don't necessarily need a better program. They don't need a new supplement. They just need to stop chasing the next thing and start progressing on the one thing that they're already doing.